have achieved soft landing on the moon. India is on the moon.
हम लोगों के लिए बहुत ही गर्व की बात है। हिंदी में एक कहावत है कि चंदा मामा दूर के, लेकिन अब हम एक
People are applauding. Let us all very Department of Space and Chairman ISRO, Shri S. Somnath.
Plus 5 seconds.
Lift off normal.
Indicates that till now the performance has been nominal. We are in the vertical.
बहुत ही गर्व की बात है। हिंदी में एक कहावत है कि चंदा मामा दूर के, लेकिन अब हम ये कह सकते हैं कि चंदा मामा अपने घर के।
So apparently India have successfully landed on the moon. Now this shows you how crazy the mainstream actually is here when we actually view the evidence of this historical moon landing. What we're going to see essentially is a terrible cartoon make space history. You can't make this stuff up. I think we get some specifications of the lander and the rover. I believe we look at some payload options here. There's some infrared tosh and then just a load of nonsense. You would have thought by now it'd be full of cameras looking at the Earth 24/7. Filming it in the highest quality possible. It'd be amazing. They'd be able to pay for their own space industry year in, year out, India, just based on ad revenue from the cameras they put on the moon. But no. And this was the lander as it was orbiting the moon, apparently. Again, ridiculous.
So if you're looking for actual evidence that India landed a spacecraft on the moon, this is about the best that you're gonna find. And it's pretty terrible. I mean, look at it. This grainy crap in the background is supposed to be the moon. And don't you just love how they always have an obstructed view? I mean, it's 2023 and nobody can figure out how to mount a camera so that you can get a clear view of the moon landing. No, you always have to have a panel in the way blocking like half the shot. You have some sort of instrument obstructing the view always. Like they can't figure out how to mount a camera without the view being obstructed. Maybe one of these days in the future they'll figure this out. But this is the best we get as far as evidence is concerned. And you have to ask yourself, is this something that could be faked? Yes. Does the government have incentive to fake space travel? Yes. So therefore, in my opinion, this is 100% fake, so therefore we can throw this out as evidence as well.
These are the visuals from Mission Operation Complex at ISRO's Telemetry Tracking and Command Network, ISTRAC, situated in...
And then we get a quick glance at the control room here, the hub of this silly charade. And we can see just a load of people sat round looking at what looks like blank screens, but no doubt there's some numbers on that screen to justify in their heads this silly pantomime. Nothing we can see here that would justify or verify this in any shape or form as actually happening. No one's cross-referencing this in any shape or form. Just a load of people being paid very handsome, no doubt, for looking at screens with numbers on it. Ridiculous.
जी हाँ, अब हम देख सकते हैं रफ ब्रेकिंग फेज की शुरुआत हो चुकी है।
Currently, the horizontal velocity has been brought down and the distance traveled is 574 kilometers. The current altitude is 27 kilometers as can be seen on the screen. We are very close to the moon's surface, nearly 2.6 kilometers as we can see. we are nearing the final phase of the power descent, which is going to be the vertical descent phase or the local navigation phase.
जी हाँ, अब हम फाइन ब्रेकिंग वेव्स के एकदम करीब आ चुके हैं। हाँ, आप तालियों के गड़गड़ाहट से सुन सकते हैं।
I mean, this is ridiculous. This is literally, as I've highlighted many times, grown men and women clapping, almost with demented looks on their faces here, as they look at numbers and cartoons. Crazy. Who are these people?
हम लोगों ने तीसरे चरण को भी बहुत ही सफलतापूर्वक हासिल कर लिया है और अभी हम वर्टिकल डिसेंट फेज में आ चुके हैं, जिसकी शुरुआत भी
People clapping and cheering does not prove that anything landed on the moon. So we can take this footage and we can throw it out as well.
The altitude is being brought down from 800 meters and we are nearing
I'm seeing some interesting patterns in that propulsion system there. I thought so. I mean, look. It's an unusual pattern their thrusters are creating there off their little RC thrusters off this historical cartoon here. But when you look at the RC thrusters, the pattern that is given us, and then you look at the shape of the lunar lander, the historical cartoon lunar lander, you end up with a Masonic compass and square there. You can't make this stuff up, you really can't. And the Grand Lodge of India was officially opened Friday the 24th of November 1961, okay? Then literally months later, the Indian Space Agency we know as ISRO was formed. Like I say, you cannot make this stuff up. Anyway, back to this historical cartoon.
The lander module has begun its descent towards the landing site.
What we see on the screen is computer generated. It is not real. It doesn't even look real. I hope nobody believes that that is an actual spacecraft landing on the moon. Computer graphic is not evidence of anything landing on the moon, so we can take this computer graphic and we can throw it out immediately.
Now that just shows you how bad it's got. Space history has just been made there in front of our very eyes, and yet all we've seen is probably up there in the top 5 worst bits of special effects I think I've ever seen cited from a space agency. You see the obvious problem here? These people are insane.
Sir, we have achieved soft landing on the moon. India.
Mate, India ain't anywhere near the moon. They can't even get the camera to focus on you properly, yet alone land on the moon. All we've seen come from India is probably some of the worst special effects, I think, of all time. Definitely top 3. Most certainly top 5. But some of the worst special effects of all time cited from a space agency. That's all we've seen come from you, fella. And yet, bizarrely enough, that's cited as space history being made. Crazy times.
We want to take something to the moon. How much would that cost?
200
200 million?
$200.
this rocket will fly to the moon?
Fly.
To the moon.
Oh my God!
We did it!
जी हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम लैंडर मॉड्यूल
People are applauding. Let us all wait to hear from the Secretary Department of Space and Chairman ISRO, Shri S. Somnath.
So the official story, according to all the government space agencies, is that NASA in 1969 through 1972 was able to put men on the moon, and not only that, they drove around in moon buggies and also played golf. Now, here we are in 2023, and none of the government space agencies can put a man on the moon. They can only send unmanned rockets to the moon. Think about that. Technology went in reverse as far as people walking on the moon is concerned.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
Is way better than India's fake space program. We faked going to the moon way better than you guys did. Nice try, though.
There's no way you believe that. Come on.